big points. And that's what I mean. When you're looking at Sapic's team, who wasn't it? Our skills trio you can see inside Stealthy, but you have Henjanis Chapix over here, and then you have also Kumu's team along with Flecken on this west side. This was chaos what ended up happening. So usually we're seeing Henjanis Chapix rotate all the way over into here and pick up a fight on a contested drop spot. That's not necessarily what happens, because you can see there's only a single team in there right now. You know, let's see below Matzo's team uncontested down here, who have been pushed by the team in Stealthy so far. So this top corner has a lot of options what teams are doing, and this is just what actually happened. You can see chaos. Every single team has managed to push in to try and fight, and they have the same Storm Surge strategy. Flecken's team trying to push in and fight Exper's team at the same time. All of them trying to come in, and they just get this three-way, really awkward fight where they go tit for tat. They trade elimination after elimination overall, and it just becomes super scrappy and not the usual clean fight that we're used to seeing. You see from Kumu, who's absolutely basically just popped off at the end as well, managing to clean up this and definitely secure them some points here. But usually this kind of fight is something you'd see would be quick, fast. They sneak in and they have no clue what's happening. But from Kumu's team, because they ended up winning out, beautiful for them.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And as you can see,
I
don't want to say it's happening, but it looks like it's happening. Look, there's 1 point in it at the top, right? Tayson, Vino, and Reason lead by just 1 point at the moment. Not, I'm not too sure what's gonna happen. It looks like the fourth time might be possible, but look, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at that next page, right? Because obviously just got plenty of competitors still, and we're getting later and later in. And Alex Forzionics, we sitting here in 11th, and on the day I believe they've been one of the best teams on the day. I think they, if you're just looking at today's leaderboard, they're about 3rd, right? And so the fact that they're still just at 11th shows they had a really bad day one, but they are trying to pull it back now, and that climb is still happening. There are still a couple games left, right? So there's a chance to do that.
I mean, that's kind of classic from them. We saw the exact same thing last season, where I'm pretty sure they were somewhere around like 20th after day one, and then they ended up being top 10. So they had a huge comeback in day 2. So maybe Andalex's team, day 2 heroes from now on. And we could see them continue to fly up the leaderboard throughout the next couple games that we've got left.
Yeah, look, it's almost similar to how they did in the qualifiers, where qualifier 2, they come out, don't look good. Qualifier 3, they come out the best performance we've seen in the qualifier all season. So day 2 is clearly a great day for them.
Guys, this is crazy. I mean, the Tayson keeps this up. He could be the 4-time.
Champions when it comes to Vino and Reason. That is what's happening. And you could really credit to that to Pink Nebs and Stumpy slowly sliding down thanks to ZQ's Trio's pressure here taking the building. Shayo, game 10, man. Everything is on the line.
3 games. It takes 3 active games to change your fate inside the FNCS from 10th all the way to 1st if they're good enough. And now we're in those final 3, the 10, 11, and 12s of the 2 days. This is where things get really exciting. And yeah, you're talking about Nev, Stompy, Pink. Think about it this way, right? 9 games they've played so far, contested, and they're in 2nd place by 1 point.
Impressive.
We were talking about, Henjanis Chapix being 6th overall last season, and, kind of middling throughout the day in 5th, in 10th. These guys have held leads, fighting off spawn every single game. If that's not a statement, I don't know what is.
And this is right here. Look at this. They have gas in the tank right now, trying to dip into the last minute reserves here. And this is what's the difference, though. Henjanis and Chapix, they fought. They stayed. They wanted it all against High Crescent's trio. They never really disengaged. But Neb, Stompy, and Pink going to go ahead and disengage, get back to the gas station. Talk about it, that refuel that you're going to see right here. This is not going to be a great spot to find some as money's materials as they would have Lazy Lake, of course, but You got to give what you got to take what you can get, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a really weird take today for a lot of teams because these next 2 games we're playing are, of course, the added on games from the missed out ones yesterday. So a lot of the players right now are on their game 7s and game 8s, stuff we don't usually see for players in a series. They have third-party experiences a little bit, you know, with playing 8-game formats, sometimes 10-game formats. He's gotten a little bit weird throughout the years, but now at this caliber of competition, at the top, fighting for that $300,000 prize all the way there for, you know, a nice 100K each trio member. I mean, this is different with stakes. This is also a lobby. You don't want to mess with every POI stacked. You know, people fighting off spawn over and over, mid-game being different every game. Sometimes the mountain's in the way. So it's going to be really different in terms of a vibe for Tayson to hold on. That was kind of scary, but it's all good. I was like, wait a minute, there's no name tag. There's no way.
You're there.
Talk about it this time, right, Sancho? It's really different. Before, they moved out of Believer Beach so fast when they have zone. This time, taking their time entirely at the pier, the hotel, make sure the whole POI is looted. They know once they start to move, lots of teams will be beside them. They can get easy shots when they're outside the zone.
And if this is your first time watching the FNCS broadcast, welcome. You're catching us on a hot one. But this is what happens here. When we start getting into the later stages of the game, we focus on the top of the board. You're going to see eliminations happen in the feed, but don't you fret. If a big eliminations happen, we will let the ops know and we'll try to get there as fast as possible. But for now, this is what's going to happen. We're going to sit here, watch how people are looting, watch how people are making adjustments, because literally every single thing in these early games, even though it's just looting and matching, matters the most. And now you're seeing Deceptos, Clement, and Floki. They made those adjustments. They moved from 7th to 8th place, and they skyrocket to 3rd place with that previous game.
Single-digit place here or there. That Tayson's cool. On that first space to start the day, this has been a really impressive day for these guys overall. Really feeling themselves. Is that Savage just watched down go in the feed too?
Yep.
Fresh Guard and Dreaded deleted again.
Yep.
Second place these guys are holding on to, now down to 7th. And now after this game going to the final 2, it might be even lower. I mean, the boards are still changing the whole way through. Floki's moving up. Centric Hottie, Elo Crash Stripper, and they're moving up too. Sapphic now 6 places higher than he was before. I mean, people have to get replaced.
And the adjustments, the early moments, Malibu Cut, no doubt. They had to stand still. Savage tried to disengage. We saw that as well up there for Pink Street. They disengage. Last time they had a lot of gas, but just not enough. You go right into that North Cami split that's happening here. And now we're just going to keep a look here. Let's see. That was 7th place getting eliminated. Now we have Hottie, Elo Crest, and Tripper here in 4th place. But I'm surprised here. We saw, you know, just to talk about Floki, Clement, and Deceptos, they've done this plenty of times. Which is out of nowhere, they pop off and they sneak in. And this time, they're sneaking in and they're adding zeros to the prize pool at the same time.
That's huge. They're going to be operating on the sneaky side. For this trio on screen, the title is aggression. Moving forward, the first people to third party sometimes on the entire map. In endgame, they're the first to try to go for that retake, or the second to push all the way for height. They really want to take things by their own hands. They're playing a very different, almost opposite beat of Floki, Clement, Deceptos, but are also having very similar ways of success. So right now, both these teams third and fourth place. that's lethal towards these last 2 games.
Now we're going to Chapik, Sid, and Janice. There's only 3 games left. And the $1 million prize pool is all on the line that will be distributed. The lion's share wins $300,000. Janice, Sid, and Chapik have tasted the glory, have held the Axe of Champions back in Chapter 2, Season 5. And they're trying to make their way back to reclaim the throne.
Hey, maybe I need to call up High Chris and tell them to start contesting again, because last season they were higher in placement overall, right? They were looking a little bit more spry once winning that fight off of Spawn. This season, that Swarm Sword is not guaranteed, so they have to hunt for it in the same way Chapik, Janice, and Hen are right now. And look at this too, FSI bullied by Aqua. Other true to talk about, but on the topic of Hen still, as this fight will easily wrap up, you know, they're literally on the test. This was the season. A lot of people were saying it. Both our analysts have predicted it too.